On a quiet summer morning in Henderson, Nevada, a mother walked into her son's bedroom and found something no parent should ever see. 46-year-old Johnathan Willette was lying in bed, motionless, surrounded by blood. And his head was gone. What followed was one of the most disturbing homicide investigations in recent Nevada history, exposing hidden relationships, shocking betrayals, and a family consumed by secrets. Welcome to Minds of Murderers, the channel where we examine the psychology, motives, and dark decisions behind real-life crimes. If you're new here, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you never miss a case that demands deeper understanding. On the morning of August 7, 2023, Yoko Willette woke up in her Henderson, Nevada home expecting a normal day. Her 46-year-old son Johnathan, who lived with her, was usually awake by this time, but the house was unusually quiet. By 8 a.m., Johnathan still hadn't come out of his room. Concerned, Yoko walked down the hallway and called his name. There was no answer. When she opened the bedroom door, she saw Johnathan lying face down on the bed, partially covered by the sheets. At first glance, it appeared he was sleeping. Then she noticed the blood. Johnathan was completely still, and his head had been removed. Realizing something was terribly wrong, Yoko's partner immediately called 911. Within minutes, police and paramedics were on their way, unaware they were about to encounter a crime scene that defied logic. When first responders entered Johnathan Willette's bedroom, they were immediately struck by how unusual the scene was. Despite the brutality of the crime, the room was strangely orderly. Johnathan's body lay face down on the bed, covered by sheets. His head was missing, and it was nowhere inside the house. There was no visible murder weapon. No large blood spatter on the walls. No signs of a violent struggle. Nearby, investigators found Johnathan's boxer shorts on the floor, along with two belts tied together near the bed. In the hallway outside the bathroom, officers discovered bottles of bleach and ammonia. A powerful chemical odor filled the air, burning their eyes and throats the longer they stayed in the room. Some officers even believed the body appeared to be emitting smoke, likely caused by chemical reactions on the skin. The scene was quickly secured. Whatever had happened here was deliberate, calculated, and deeply disturbing. As disturbing as the crime scene was, the autopsy raised even more questions. Medical examiners discovered that Johnathan Willette did not die from being decapitated. In fact, the removal of his head happened after he was already dead. The chemicals found at the scene had been wiped across Johnathan's body, causing severe burns, but those injuries were also inflicted post-mortem. Even more troubling, the medical examiner could not determine exactly what killed him. The official ruling stated that Johnathan died as a result of homicidal violence, but the precise cause of death remained unknown. Forensic experts later determined that two different tools were used to remove Johnathan's head. One appeared to be a manual tool, leaving hesitation marks. The other was likely a power tool, such as a mechanical saw. This was not a crime of impulse. It was methodical, and someone had gone to great lengths to destroy evidence. To understand this case, investigators first had to understand the man at the center of it. Johnathan Willette was born in Japan while his father was serving in the U.S. Air Force. His childhood was marked by constant movement, from Japan to Montana, then California, before his family eventually settled in Henderson, Nevada. As an adult, Johnathan built a steady life. For years, he worked on the Las Vegas Strip selling timeshares, before eventually starting his own moving business. Locals came to know him as the Vegas moving guy. Johnathan was outgoing, talkative, and proud of his work. He enjoyed meeting new people and took satisfaction in providing for his family. From the outside, he appeared successful and dependable. But behind closed doors, Johnathan's personal life was becoming increasingly complicated and unstable. And those private struggles would soon place him directly in the path of danger. Johnathan Willette's personal life was far more complicated than most people realized. He shared 2 young daughters with Devin Michaels, a former adult film actress. Although custody arrangements were strained and legally restricted, Johnathan remained deeply involved in his daughters' lives, often sharing responsibility for their care with Devin. Johnathan also had an older son, demeanour, from a previous relationship. At one time, father and son were close, even working together, but their relationship became increasingly strained. Then came a revelation that shocked everyone. Devin, Johnathan's ex and the mother of his daughters, had secretly married his son. The relationship had begun years earlier, when demeanour was still a teenager. The marriage was kept hidden from Johnathan's family and only came to light shortly before his death. This discovery shattered the family structure entirely. Roles became blurred, emotionally, legally, and psychologically, creating tension that would soon reach a breaking point. On August 6, 2023, Johnathan Willette spent his final day with Devin Michaels. Together, they shopped for back-to-school supplies for their daughters. They moved Johnathan's belongings and prepared for him to relocate. According to those close to them, Johnathan planned to leave his mother's home and reunite with Devin and the girls. That evening, Johnathan and Devin arrived at his mother's house on Paladura Drive in Henderson. Security cameras later documented their movements. They made a stop at a gas station, where Johnathan was seen smiling as he entered and exited the store. It would be the last known footage of him alive. Later that night, cameras captured their arrival at the Paladura house. Hours passed, then, just after 2 a.m., Devin was seen leaving alone. Johnathan was never seen alive again. As detectives began searching locations connected to Johnathan and Devin, disturbing evidence quickly emerged. At Devin's home, investigators discovered Johnathan's cell phone, smeared with what appeared to be blood. Testing later confirmed the blood belonged to Johnathan. Hidden inside drawers, police found his driver's license and the keys to his moving truck. Elsewhere, inside Devin's purse, they located Johnathan's social security card. These were items Johnathan would normally carry with him, yet they were miles away from where his body was found. Even more concerning, Devin had already lied to investigators about several details, including where certain items were located and what had been thrown away. As each discovery was made, her version of events became harder to believe. For detectives, the evidence was beginning to tell a very different story. During interrogation, Devin Michaels admitted to striking Johnathan with an object during a confrontation. But she insisted that he was still alive when she left the house. She denied any involvement in cleaning the scene, decapitating him, or knowing what happened afterward. Instead, she claimed memory loss, confusion, and gaps in her recollection of that night. Investigators, however, were not convinced. Her story didn't match the mounting physical evidence: Johnathan's blood on her cell phone, his personal items hidden in her home, and the timeline of events captured on cameras. Every statement she made only raised more questions, as authorities began to piece together a chilling reality: the version of events Devin was telling simply didn't add up. The focus was shifting, and the investigation was moving closer to a conclusion that no one in that family could have anticipated. Less than a week after Johnathan's death, Devin Michaels was arrested by Henderson police. Initially, she agreed to a plea deal, life in prison with the possibility of parole after 15 years. It seemed like the case would reach a swift resolution. But in court, Devin shocked everyone. She withdrew her plea and proclaimed her innocence, claiming the evidence against her had been manipulated. She accused investigators of twisting facts and demanded her day in court. Suddenly, a case that had seemed straightforward became a high-stakes trial. The question was no longer just about what happened to Johnathan Willette, it was about whether the person everyone suspected could truly be held accountable. The stage was set for a courtroom battle that would uncover even deeper secrets and shocking family entanglements. At trial, Devin Michaels' defense team tried a bold move: they shifted suspicion to Johnathan's adult son, demeanour. The defense argued that Devier had motive. If his father moved in, he could lose both his wife and the family home. They also claimed his work with security systems gave him the knowledge to avoid cameras, casting doubt on the official timeline. But the evidence told a different story. Devier's truck never left his home, his phone activity confirmed he was at home, and no security cameras captured him leaving the neighborhood. Meanwhile, the prosecution focused on one crucial piece of evidence. Johnathan's blood was found on Devon's cell phone, which had left the house in her possession. Despite attempts to raise doubt, the jury was reminded that evidence, not speculation, would reveal the truth. The question remained, who really killed Johnathan Willette? After a tense trial, the jury deliberated for less than 2 hours. The verdict was clear. Devon Michaels was found guilty of first-degree murder with the use of a deadly weapon. She now faces 51 years to life in prison. Johnathan's head was never recovered, leaving haunting questions about the final moments of his life. Despite the conviction, the case remained a chilling reminder of how trust, deception, and dark family secrets can turn deadly. Johnathan Willette was remembered as a devoted father, a hardworking businessman, and a man who trusted the wrong people. His story is a tragic example of how appearances can hide a life full of danger and betrayal. This was the tragic case of Johnathan Willette. Johnathan Willette's story is a haunting reminder that behind the smiles and everyday life, dark secrets can hide in plain sight. Despite Devon Michaels' conviction, questions linger about the missing head, the missing murder weapon, and the final moments of Johnathan's life. If you want to uncover more shocking true crime stories like this, make sure to subscribe to Minds of Murderers and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Thank you for watching, and remember, in the world of true crime, the truth is often stranger and darker than fiction.